This is Emily.
Hey, Emily, this is Dave Portnoy calling. I'm recording you right now, but I've noticed a bunch of people. It seems like you're sending. We have this pizza fest happening on Saturday, and you're reaching out to our advertisers, and you're basically sending an email that says, to the effect, Dave's a misogynist, racist. Do you want to defend yourselves advertising at this event, right?
I'm sorry, what's your name, Dave? I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the guy you're writing the article about, Dave Portnoy.
Oh, you're Dave Portnoy. Oh, hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. No, I'm not. I haven't said anything like that.
I can read if you want. If you want, I can read what you actually sent. I have it.
Yeah, read, because I sent a bunch of notes, so I want to make sure I know which one.
Okay. We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors and participants have drawn criticism by seemingly to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogynic comments and other problematic behavior. I want to make sure that blank had a chance to respond to this, since the company is the most prominent in their partners of his festival.
Oh, that's the one I sent to, which was definitely the most pointed of them, because I really did want them to respond, and I was hoping to get something from them.
Do you think that's fair? Like, I totally disagree with the assertions of what you said, that misogynic and all that stuff. So, like, it kind of backs people into a corner. So I'm happy to go over anything. I mean, that is pretty pointed. You said you didn't do it. Then I have the exact evidence of you doing it. So
no, I didn't say I didn't do that. I said I did. That was the one that was the most pointed.
Well, no, that what before I provided proof, you said you didn't really remember doing that, and then I read it to you, and you're like, oh yeah, I did it that one time. So you did do it. I'm happy to talk about the comments, because to me, it's kind of like torturous interference. Like, we're doing an event. Everyone's happy about the event. I've raised $50 million for small business. I've helped pizza. None of that. It's Dave's misogynic and problematic, and I'm happy to talk about it, because to me, nobody would like if someone's going around sending that email to their sponsors. And again, you're not like questioning. It's almost like a statement of fact. This is what I am.
Yeah. So I do want to talk to you about this. And I just want you to know that the story I'm working on with a colleague. And I want to kind of loop him on this, because we did want to talk to you. And
when were you going to reach out?
We were planning on doing it tomorrow morning, but
so you're going to write the article and then give me, like, I've had that a bunch. People write a full article and then give me the points after.
We're doing a bunch of reporting, and we wanted to make sure that when we finally did talk to you, we could really kind of present what, or talk about things more fully based on
like what? Like, it sounds like you have your opinion made of me based on that email.
No.
So then how, if you don't have your opinion made of me, how do you say in an intro email, Dave Portnoy has a history of misogynic comments and other problematic behavior? That's how you introduce the email.
Yeah. So look, I just want you to know that this is not, I want to talk to you about this, but
don't you think you should talk to me before sending that email?
What I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you when we were to have some specific questions for you. And so I wanted to kind of have the full idea of what we were.
That's not a full idea. Like, anybody who's rationally reading that email being sent to an advertiser would have to be like, this is a hit piece and you have your mind made up. Why else would you put? No, you call me in the intro. I'll say it again. Dave Portnoy has a history of misogynic comments and other problematic behavior. You didn't say Dave Portnoy raised $50 million for small business. Dave Portnoy saved thousands of pizza places. You didn't mention. You said it in a way that is putting sponsors on the defensive.
So what I worried about when we contacted you, I was worried that we would have sort of one shot to talk to you, right? And so what I wanted to do is make everything that we wanted to talk to you about before I reached out to you. That's why I was waiting to call you.
Because you wanted to have everything together before you talk to me. I got to be honest, this sounds like something who's going to hit me last second, be like comments and all this negative stuff.
No, this is kind of standard journalistic stuff. Like,
unfortunately, yes.
Talk about stuff.
I have been an open book and willing to sit down with anybody at any time. And this all stems, by the way, from a guy who wrote an article that for 13 years, 15 years has been tweeting negatively about me because he doesn't like me. So half the stuff he talks about didn't even exist. The guy doesn't like me, and now you're going to run with this on the Washington Post. And anybody who's listening to this to think you were going to give me a fair chance when you're leading to our sponsors before you talk to me is crazy.
Okay. Can we set up a time to talk tomorrow? Would that be okay? Like, I want to talk to you. I really do. I just want to make sure, like, I've got all my questions ready and stuff to talk to you about. Would that be okay? Can we set up a time?
I want to see the article before you do it.
No, it's not really. We can't do that. And
Why
also,
can't
like,
you do? Why can't you do that? Because all I do is I validate all the stuff you're about to make up against me. I have been hit with the same things over and over, and they're all so wildly out of context. It's insane to say at this point in the game when you've already written to the sponsors. Let me say it again. Dave Portnoy has a history of misogynist comments and other problematic behavior. I catch you off guard on a phone call, and now you're like, no, we planned on talking to you tomorrow. Like the Washington Post, which is a wildly left-leaning publication, you have things you've said. You hate Trump, you hate Elon. Not that I'm those people. To think you're going to give me a fair shake. I wasn't born yesterday.
I mean, I wanted to talk to you, and as part of my reporting, like, we haven't written this story. We won't have written it by the time we talk to you. Like, this is talking to you, I would hope, is going to be a big part of our reporting and a big part of the story. So I'm really hoping I do that, but I want to give you a chance. If we're going to, anything specific we're going to include in the story, but I just don't have it all in front of me because I'm working with another reporter, and I want to make sure that we have as full a conversation as we can.
What was the thesis of this article you're writing?
I don't work with theses. I'm just reporting. It's just, you're an interesting guy. You have an interesting role in this industry, and we just want to look at it. That's all.
It seemed like you were going to try to shame sponsors for being associated with me and put them in a box when I know they all love me, but nobody wants the Washington Post writing an article, sponsor associated with misogynist, racist piece of shit. Nobody wants that. That's what you're trying to do. And even on this call, it's pretty clear that's what you were trying to do. You don't have the facts for me.
What I might have said on this call that would give you that impression. All I've said on this call.
Well, we started the call. We started the call with you saying you never said anything negative, and then I read back an email like, "Oh, I did on that one."
I said that I sent a number of emails. And that one was the most pointed because I was really trying to press them to respond. But I really, and what I've been asking people about, I'm just asking people what they're doing. I'm just asking people about, how they came to participate and how they view it. That's
but you could have just as easily said, what's your involvement? Are you proud to be involved with somebody who has done so much for the pizza and service industry, right? That could have been an email.
Can we set up a time tomorrow to talk? I mean, really, I want to get into all of it.
Well, I don't know if I trust you yet. So I'd want more. I want to see everything that you've been asking these people. Like, again, I don't think there's generally why I don't do this at the last minute is because if you really wanted to get my perspective, it wouldn't be me calling you. You would have already reached out to me in a fair manner. Hey, sorry about that. I got like a call that came in the middle of it.
Oh, no worries. Okay. No, I was just saying I was going to call you. I really wanted to talk with you. I want to have a really full conversation. That's why. So what time?
I'm more than willing to have an open conversation about anything if the article is not written. I'm afraid with what I'm seeing already here, all it does is it validates a hit piece.
I swear, I have not written the story. Believe me.
Have you made your mind up about me?
We're in the reporting phase. I can't. Not for me to say, and I'm working with somebody else.
But that seems like a pretty straightforward question. That have you made your mind up about me? If you can't answer that, no.
I can say I have not made my mind up about you.
Then why would you include that in the email to sponsors?
Because I was hoping for a dialogue with them. Sometimes you have to say something like, this is like, it's sort of a reporting tactic. When you want someone to respond, you kind of have to indicate that there might be something negative, and then you get them to engage. That's all I was trying to do. I really wanted them to engage with me.
That is a sad state of journalism if that's a tactic that you have to, what I would say is make up something about somebody.
That there might be might be something negative, and so you want to give people a chance to respond and have a conversation with you. That's what I was trying to do.
But at the same time, you're saying you don't know that that's actually truth. So you're leading with something that you haven't done enough research to know if it's valid.
I'm saying there might be a fuller picture, and that's what I want to talk to you about. And I want to set up a time tomorrow morning, maybe like 10. Are you free at 10?
I got to do more research on you. I still don't have the vibe that you're going to give me any sort of fair shake.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I can tell you, and let me tell you the name if you want to look into me. You want to look. My colleague that I'm working with on the story, his name is Tim Carmen. He's also a food reporter at the Post. And I'd love for both of us to be on the call and just, we can talk. I am happy to, I definitely want some on the record stuff, but if there's stuff you want to tell me that you want to tell me on background or off the record, we can talk about all.
No, I'm always on the record. There's nothing I would ever say that is off the record.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so maybe you want to say tentatively 10 o'clock tomorrow?
Yes, I'll confirm tentatively. Now, the one thing I'd always ask, just like this is being recorded, I would record the interview tomorrow.
I didn't have a chance to hit record, so I'm not recording this call, but I get that you are. That's totally fine. I always anticipate that, what I'm saying is going to be recorded or be used. I get that.
Okay, so that is a good step in establishing some degree of trust. So if you're fine with me recording tomorrow, then let's do 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay, do you want to call me on this number?
Sure, yes.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow at 10.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Bye.
This is